Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ballen Answers Podcast. Thank you so much for engaging with our first video, subscribing to our channel, and submitting your questions. We got quite a few questions coming around this time. And we really look forward to hearing your thoughts and connecting our community in this super cool new way. So thank you for that. And before we begin answering your questions, we would like to talk about a few upcoming events that we're having, so you can add those to your calendar. We have new hire meet and greets. This is a new opportunity this season led by our base area managers that is geared towards new hires to come to these Zoom meetings weekly. And it's an opportunity for new hires to basically get ahead in the training process, to meet their managers, ask them new questions. We have those currently being held on Fridays. So that is October 25th, November 1st, and November 8th. You can register for those events on Flaik on the training calendar. And on there, you'll find a few different videos for you to watch before attending. So make sure to check that out. Next, we have our orientations. These are going to be held on November 16th and 17th, and then the 23rd and 24th. And make sure to look at your email for more information on those dates. And Brian wanted to go over the instructor profiles in Flaik.
Yeah, so Taylor is going to tell you all to log into Flaik and check your schedules and continue to check your schedules. And so should your base area managers, in all honesty. This is year 5 of us on this program, on this platform. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface of all the possibilities that we can do with it. One of those being you seeing how you're doing. So yes, you can log in and you can see your schedule. And yes, you should be checking your schedule and you should be checking your pay every day. Adding on to that, you can sign up for trainings. After you sign up for trainings, you can revisit your trainings. You can rate the trainings. You can help us understand what we're doing well with our trainers and what we're not doing well, where our misses are at. Following up on that, you can see how your evaluations are. The end of season evaluations from last year. Talk with your managers about that. There's a lot of parts in there that we can keep diving into. One more thing that we talk a lot about is we talk about staff friendliness. Last season, we talked about where we're at, and big news, everybody. You're going to hear about this also in orientation, but we did a very good job. I asked you all to try to engage with the guests, engage with them, and make it seem memorable moments, create more skiers and snowboards than you did. We're going to link that NPS, which goes through Medallia. We're going to link that into Flaik now. So each instructor who's teaching lessons will be able to get some feedback back from their guests. It'll be individual to you. And I don't want you to fret about this. I don't want you to be like, oh man, like my score is 1,000,000 or my score is negative. Like, that's not the point of this. The point of this is so you can start getting that same 360 feedback that I've asked my managers to be getting, that I've been giving to them, that they've been giving back to me. It's through these conversations that we actually learn and that we actually grow. And so I want us to keep diving into Flaik and keep looking at our profiles and seeing how we're doing with our training. Rate us so we also know how we're doing in the training. See how your lessons are going.
So now on to our questions provided by you lovely folks. Our first one here is for Mr. Brian. What is your favorite run at East and why?
Oh, geez. So big shout out to the Nordic people. There is a lot of trails at East in the Nordic land. I am only good enough to do one of them. That is called Cold Creek. I go out and back. Someday, I will take some more lessons and get fitter and be able to go further out. Or maybe Karna and Jenny and that crew over there will take me up a chairlift and help me navigate over to the other trails, the other green trails that are up top. Not exactly sure how to survive coming down, but I'm sure somebody smarter than me can teach me that. For the downhill, I love Squirrel's Forest, and I love a lot of the runs that come off of Rampart Ridge, right? Like it's just a whole different experience.
Yeah.
It's so much like, it's actual trails. There's trees, there's little places to dip in and out of. Like, it's great. And I'm excited that East will be open on Fridays. Maybe I'll even get to go ahead and ride it a few more times this
Yeah,
season.
that would be super exciting. So note to self, go slow when riding Nordic with Brian.
Do not be in front of me, do not be behind me, and do not be to the side of me. I don't even know where I'm going, so for sure, you should not be anywhere near me.
Yeah, so if you are a Nordic instructor watching this, maybe reach out to Brian and get him out there. Well, that moves us right into our next question of what ski or snowboard purchase is next for you?
Ooh.
Can of worms.
I don't know if I'm allowed to buy more gear right now. I've got a lot. Yeah, so as I guess I just said, probably like need to purchase some Nordic stuff. So let's start there with number one. Like, let's get some new skis, and I can classic with the best of them after that, or maybe I'll get the hybrids thing so I can ski
There
and
you
skate.
go.
Definitely have too many downhill skis. I know you can't say you have too many, but I need to sell some before I buy some more. Have multiple shells, so like, yeah, I've got a couple boots. Have a couple snowboards. So yeah, I've got a lot of things. Got a lot of them right now.
Do you have a favorite memory from your first few years of teaching skiing? If so, what was it and where were you?
Whew. I don't know if I have a favorite memory. There was a lot of them, a lot of great times. I definitely have one that comes to mind, though. I started off as a full-time instructor at Central, and my first or second season, it rained for about 20 days straight. Just, and I'm not talking, sprinkling, I'm talking like it rained. And there was definitely some concerns the mountain wouldn't hold together and it would fall apart. And, were we shutting down early? So there was a lot of that. And you're teaching lessons while this is all going on. And you're in this soft shell jacket that we had back then. So it was just a sponge, just soaking it all up. And all of us together, the staff, bonded over how wet we were, and we started having end of day competitions, pouring out our boots and wringing out our jackets. And yes, the lessons were great, and the kids laughed, and it taught me that even like they didn't know any better. It taught me they didn't know any better about weather and like how that could affect their day. But it also brought us together and made us have a game towards the end of the day. So
Yeah.
we'd see how much water we could still store inside of our boots and how squishy we can make it, and we'd dump it out. And yeah, didn't have a dry article of clothing for a month.
That sounds very entertaining.
It was.
Okay, do we have any announcements for new happenings within the summit, or just snow sports in general?
New happenings, new faces, new places, and all of the happenings along the way. I don't know what this question's actually asking, so if some person wants to resubmit it with some more details, like, let me know. There's obviously new lifts. International's coming in. International. There's an E at the end of it. Wild Side's coming in. We flattened the central learning area, so there's a bunch of dirt that got put in over there so there's no that fall off towards 906.
Okay.
There is lots of upgrades and little things here and there that's happening to make us a better place to continue the better experience for staff, for guests, for everybody else along the way. I just mentioned private lessons. Like, we're incentivizing you getting your own request versus us just selling something online. Yeah, that's what I got at this moment.
Okay. So Brian,
Mhm.
there are some rumors going around that the summit is now going to have paid parking.
Ooh.
Ooh, want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's not really a rumor at this point. I think we've put it onto social media and we've had news outlets cover this thing. We are charging for parking this year, but the goal is not to make money. The goal is to create spaces for our guests to park. If you have a season's pass, you will be able to upload your license plates. You'll get two. And so that'll be great. Like you'll be able to drive a car up.
Yep.
If you have a day lift ticket, you will be able to purchase one, or an icon pass. You'll be able to purchase a spot for $5 a day, not $5 for the season, not $500 for the
Yeah.
season. It'll be daily purchase. And then if you don't have a season's pass or a lift ticket and you have not put your license plate in, we will be charging for parking this season. Either purchase a parking pass for the day, or you'll be ticketed for the day. And all of this is to go ahead and try to create spots for our guests to come on up. So the people who are just parking and walking around, or the people who are parking and touring out but not using our spaces and using our places, like they're not our guests. Our guests are the ones taking lessons. Our guests are the ones who are doing who are coming up and riding our trails. So we want to create those spots. This is all being managed by a third-party parking place, so I don't have all of the details, and we'll continue updating you as these things come along. But I do want you all to know that this is to try to create a better experience for you, for your guests, for all of our guests, and not to create inequities in barriers to entry.
Copy that. So, speaking of orientations, there are some asks for a weekday orientation session for instructors that might not be able to attend weekend sessions. Maybe they have a weekend job, something else of the sorts.
Good question. We can reach out to HR. Like, there's no reason why we can't do that. It would have to be either over Christmas vacation, and so like that would be a little bit challenging, or maybe in the evening. We can't run an orientation for one or two people. We would need to start. We would need to get a few different people. So maybe reaching out to your managers, asking them to create a form for a sign up and gauging interest. Like, let us know. I mean, if there's 20, 30 people that'd be interested in doing a weekday session, we can probably put something together. I'm open to the idea.
Yeah. I think currently the likelihood of having a weekday orientation session is going to be less of a snow sports specific session and more of a summit wide session. In previous seasons, I know that HR has held orientation sessions usually on like Fridays and Saturdays, so that might be an option for those folks to attend that as well. We don't currently have an idea of when the HR-led orientations are going to be held. We don't have dates on that quite yet, but that's definitely something that once we get that information, we will relay out to you guys. So if you're unable to attend a weekend session, we'll see what we can figure out for you. Okay, so if you are a returner, you more than likely know our lovely sustainability coordinator, Tara. Brian, there is some ask to have Tara guest star with us.
Yeah. So Tara is currently living it up in Hawaii right now, which is why she's not on this episode. She forgot to take us. So even though you want her on here, we're still a little angry at her. But yes, the plan is to have Tara, that person, have her come join us during our next episode. If you have more questions about sustainability, please get them in. We will start organizing those and getting the questions to Tara so she can be prepared. And otherwise, we'll just laugh and giggle and talk.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. And our last question here is about the rumor of Snow-Go rentals and lessons not being available for the 24-25 season. This listener would like to know if there is truth to the rumor, if the Summit fleet of Snow-Gos will be sold off, and for owners of Snow-Gos, if Snow Sports will be able to do Snow-Go private lessons.
Good question. So Snow Sports is not going to be running Snow-Go lessons at this time. It's not in our plan. We've tried a couple seasons now. We've moved at base areas. We've moved the times. We've shifted around. We haven't quite cracked the nut on like what it is and how to make it happen. So we're going to take a step back this season, and we're going to take a breath, and we're going to look around and see what other people are doing. maybe there'll be demand, and if there starts becoming demand for it again, we will get back into it. So it's not a forever; it's for this season. Is the thought process right now? Um, I don't know what's happening with the snow ghosts. Those are owned by our rental department. So just kind of so we're all aware, yes, there are skis inside of Kids Club. Those are owned and maintained by rentals. There are snowboards that are around, and those are owned and maintained by our rentals department. The snow goes are also owned by our rental department, even though a lot of great staff members for snow sports maintained them. And uh, thank you, staff members. So whenever they decide to do with the snow, whatever they decide to do with the snow goes, it will be their decision, and they'll let us know as soon as they know what they're going to do with it. Um, for lessons on snow goes, that like we're not running lessons as a group. If there is private lessons that want to happen with them, I'm not sure how that would work at this time. We don't like they would probably be paying private lesson prices, so they would be doing that, and they could request an instructor, um, and they would have to find the snow go off the hill at this time because we're not planning on using our fleet for that. Long story short is that I'm not going to stand in the way of it. I just don't know how it would work right now. So if you are a snow go enthusiast who wants to lead a snow go lesson, talk with your managers, pitch them the idea, and let's see what they can come together with and how we can make it happen.
Sounds good. Well, Brian, is there anything else you would like to talk about today?
Yes. And so I'm going to spill the tea here a little bit. Every day, Taylor drives up, and the last song she hears is the first song she sings as she walks through the door. And I need you all to know that she may look like a child, but she sings my songs. She comes in singing songs from the 90s and 2000s, and who knows what mood she's in for the day. It's great. But she comes in, and so today was Teenage Dirtbag. If you haven't heard Teenage Dirtbag, put it on your playlist. It's a solid one.
That is all we have for you guys today. Make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Hit the like.
Thumbs up. You can leave comments. And make sure to submit your questions. We have the QR code posted above.
Are we voguing? Vogue.
If you would like to watch more of this silliness, definitely make sure to tune in. We will be posting every other week. Hoping to get these up on Wednesdays, so mark that on your calendar. Make sure to submit your questions. Without your questions, we don't have a podcast. So let's keep this ball moving, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.